And welcome back to Pleasant Plains, Illinois, as it's Class 2A IHSA sectional semifinal night. You're in the link as we're getting ready for the Illini West Chargers and PORTA Blue Jays. But first, before we move on to game number 2 of the night, we have Coach Brianna Rexroth from the Macomb High Bombers here as their season came to an end 25-21. And Coach, I saw you at the Downtown Athletic Club today. You mentioned errors were limited against Quincy Notre Dame. Service errors and hitting errors and passing errors looked like maybe your downfall tonight.
Yeah. We started off strong both sets, but, and Pleasant Plains made some errors in the beginning of first set 1 and 2, and we just didn't capitalize on the momentum and the errors. We were still playing, to me, it felt like we were playing a little timid. Took a while to kind of get to know the court a little bit. Pleasant Plains did a nice job of passing and running a faster tempo to the right side tonight. We just didn't slow down their offense enough tonight to help our defense out. But the errors in the long run, just too many in a row.
Yeah, there was some points at the end of each set. You guys would make a run, and then a couple errors would, and John and I talked about sometimes it's not even how many errors, it's just when they happen, right?
Yeah. And then tonight, for some reason, it was more consecutive than what we've had in the past, especially in the past week and a half. We'd really done a nice job at eliminating some of those runs. And, we've kept everyone down to a minimum of 3-point runs, and that wasn't the case tonight. And we just got too big a hole to fight back. Each set we fought back, had some nice runs, tied it up 20-20, and then I don't think we scored another point in the first set after that. And then second set, tied, right there. And
yeah, McAfee's a pretty good ball player, number 10, isn't she?
Yeah, and she did a nice job of when the set was there, she took care of the ball. And, we were on a run, and then when she cranked that to the line, there was no slowing that down. So she did a nice job of executing that hit when they needed to. They needed that point.
John pointed out that in the first set, they went cross court a lot, McAfee did. Then she went down the line a few times in set 2.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't seem like your block was as solid tonight as it has been in a few other games. Is that because they were moving the ball a little quicker, or you guys just weren't able to get up behind things because you guys were chasing things a lot?
Yeah, in the last week, we've really done well on, we've been blocking and slowing down balls and getting some touches on it. And tonight, it just felt like we were just too slow. I don't know if they were setting a little lower than what we're used to, or just felt like we were about a half second too late getting up.
Yeah, so I know that you're going to lose a few key elements to your team, and I know it's right after the set or right after the match, but this Bombers squad has a lot to look forward to. We had Luke Karanen for 13 kills. She really carried you guys tonight.
Yeah, Luke Karanen did a nice job of swinging and getting those kills. I think in the first set she had 5 kills, and she was I think we only had one other player with the kill at that point.
Madeline
I remember it was our second time out, and I was like, we've got to get more people executing that ball. Second set, Luke Karanen did a nice job. We were on a nice run with Emily Westerhold running the ball. And, we took some time, and I'm like, Emily, go get Catherine. 2-hand tip that ball down line, or one hand if you get in trouble. And she's listening. Towards the end of the season, the girls really started hearing what we're saying, listening, and going for it.
Well, she tipped one that couldn't have been out on the far side over there by an inch or two, right? Which is what exactly you're talking about. It wasn't a great set, but she had the opportunity to do something with it and just missed it by a smidge.
Mm-hmm. The outsides really have to work hard to adjust to the set, and if the set's dying, you got to get in there and get it. We were trying to get Quinn to jump set to pull the blockers for him a little bit, and sometimes jump setting to the outside is a little rough to get the ball still out there. So we got a lot of improvements to make, but I think we're going to come back firing pretty strong next year, like you said.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you coming up here. It is a long ways up here.
It is, but it's all right. I need the steps.
I do too, but it doesn't mean I want them.
Right.
There's a difference there. Thanks for being so kind and talking to me all these times this year.
No,
I appreciate
thanks for coming out. The girls love it.
And hopefully we'll get to see you win some more games next year.
I hope so. We're
a little farther into the postseason, right?
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I'm glad we made it. I thought we might get it this year.
Do you think there was any letdown at all after beating QND last
I think,
Thursday?
that regional championship is such a high. I wish we would add one more day. I liked it when IHSA did Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, because Mondays are rough, and you're usually coming off of a high of a big regional championship. We needed one more day to practice.
And you didn't have school, right? I mean, you didn't have school
we didn't have
Friday
school.
or
We haven't
Monday.
had school since last Wednesday.
Yeah.
So it's kind of been one of those things. You're trying to get them up. You're trying to get them moving. If we would have, I don't know. I'm trying not to be bitter. I'm trying not to angry at the schedule, but I missed the Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday schedule.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think they do that because maybe there's not as many playoff football games on Friday.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
I'm guessing is what the reason would be.
But
I've never actually heard that. I'm just guessing.
That's
but,
my guess.
Hey, as a long-time old journalist, some of my best memories are going to a playoff football game on Saturday afternoon and driving across Illinois to watch Colchester in a sectional or a super sectional on Saturday night.
Right, that's what I miss.
In fact, you might have been on those teams that did that actually.
Right.
Back in the day.
Maybe that's why I miss it so much.
It might be. Well, Coach, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
And we'll see you again soon.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Coach Rexroth talking to us on the pregame show of the postgame show of the Macomb Bombers having their season brought to an end by Pleasant Plains 25-21 here at Pleasant Plains High School. But, John, we are here now for a big contest as well. Illini West and PORTA. So one number 2 won. That's Pleasant Plains. The other number 2, Illini West, is out on the floor warming up right now, and they want to make it a 2 versus 2 subsectional pairing coming into the sectional final.
Yeah, absolutely. And this Illini West team is one that you and I have seen a lot throughout the season. A lot of firepower on that side. They've lost a couple key games here and there throughout the season. Maybe when the Brights were shining a little bit bright, but here in the postseason, I mean, they're here in the sectional semifinals. We'll see if they can keep things rolling against a tough PORTA squad.
Yeah, we'll take a quick look here if I can get back to the right spot. Doesn't look like it looks like I erased it. You did such a fine job of going to get me my mouse, and I still screwed everything up tonight, even with the mouse. It's been that kind of a day.
It absolutely has.
So we'll look at some brackets and stuff here. Actually, let's look at schedules and scores. We'll look down here and tell you that Illini West won the Canton Regional. Here at the Pleasant Plains Sectional. Verdon Regional went to Pleasant Plains. The Williamsville Regional went to Petersburg as Petersburg knocked off Williamsville 26-24, 25-19 in an upset win for PORTA. PORTA also defeated Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin 25-17, 27-29, 26-24. You talk about a thriller. That would have been a fun one to watch. In the semifinal, and then beat Williamsville, as we said, in the final. At Canton, Illini West was never really challenged. They defeated Farmington 25-13, 25-12, and defeated Peoria Notre Dame 25-17, 25-14 to advance to the sectional semifinal that we're getting ready for in about a minute here, John. Big hitters for Illini West and a big block for Illini West. See what PORTA can do. If you're going to be successful against Illini West, you need to keep them out of system and not let their hitters get good sets to really rock it at you. And if you do that, you better have a big block.
Yeah, and there might not be a better team when they play in season or in system than this Illini West team. I mean, you look at players like Reagan Reed and Josie Bryan. I mean, those two on the outsides are monsters there. And then, of course, the big block by Boyer in the middle. And, of course, you can't leave out the libero Farrell there. So it's like there's not many places that you could go against this Illini West team. They have a lot of firepower up front. They play great defense. So it'll definitely be interesting to see what they can do against this PORTA team. But I got to point out, number 12 on this PORTA team is going to be Carson Artheloni.
Yep, Artheloni.
It's hard to tell from up here, but she looks like a big middle there. She's going to match up nicely with Boyer, I would imagine.
Carly Hoke looks pretty tall, number 6 as well. She's one of the ones setting down. So we will have some size from PORTA, it would appear. The real question is, PORTA is used to some close games. What can Illini West do if they get into that close game, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we just saw some pretty close sets between Macomb and I already forgot the name of the team. Pleasant Plains, of course, where we're at. And, but that was Macomb's first time playing down all year, or not all year, but this season. So it's like you got to be able to respond when you get down in games like that. We'll see what they can do.
So there's the starting lineups for tonight's varsity matchup. The regional sectional semifinal between Illini West Chargers and the PORTA AC Central Blue Jays. We'll go through the starting lineups. For Illini West at right back, number 13, a setter, Corin Robinson. At right front, number 10, Allison Hunter. At middle front, number 16, Madeline Boyer. At left front, number 11, Josie Bryan. At left back, number 9, Audra Carroll. And middle back, number 7, Reagan Reed. For the PORTA AC Central Blue Jays, at right back, number 14, J.C. Previa. At right front, number 12, Carson Artheloni. At middle front, number 6, Carly Hoke. At left front, number 3, Michaela Clary. At left back, number 15, Cassie Cox. And at middle back, number 18, Caitlin DeFreezer. The libero will be number 1, Chloe Maltby. And, of course, Caitlin Farrell, the libero for Illini West. Two, from up here at least, look very evenly matched size-wise teams.
Yeah, I would say so. And we really talked a lot throughout the season, at least the games that we covered for Illini West, about the size that Boyer brings. But I think Artheloni might have her by an inch or two up front there. Again, it's kind of hard to tell looking down, but
the footwork that Boyer brings, it'll be interesting to see if Artheloni has the hands and the footwork that the Chargers middle Boyer has, as Robinson serves things up first. Near side to lefty. That was Hoke on the attack. Now Josie Bryan off the block. It's dug by Privia. Now it's going to be dug up by now middle Boyer on the tip. Dug up far side by Hoke. Now Robinson outside of Josie Bryan. She drives one home, and Josie Bryan gets the kill for Illini West. And Robinson gets the first service point of the match.
Man, I could watch Josie Bryan hit all day. She puts that thing down with an extreme amount of force, found a home for that one right in the middle of the court, and puts Illini West on the board.
Short serve, tipped across. Robinson now over to Bryan, tipped across, dug up. We bump set near side on the attack. Number 14 is Privia. Now it's going to be free ball to cross. Now tipped over by Arthinelli, and Arthinelli will get the kill. Side out to the Blue Jays. Here's the serve by Privia. Robinson tipped across and down. Arthinelli gets the block. Actually, we'll give her a kill on that, I think. Point to the Blue Jays and a serve for Privia. That's Bryan, dug up by the libero Maltby. Now Robinson, Farrell, Josie Bryan off the block, dug up back there by Privia. Robinson, back set Hunter. It goes across the net, actually. It's going to be a free ball. No, Privia is going to send it across. Farrell's there. Robinson, outside Bryan, dug up by Farrell off the block, pushed across by Robinson. Back set now to Hoke, who had to go right hand with it, and it's off Bryan, out of bounds. A kill for Carly Hoke. And another point for J.C. Privia. Josie Bryan gets the kill for the Chargers. Her second, side out to Illini West. They trail 3-2. Jackson, that's how we do it, bud. If you don't want to watch, I guess I'm sorry. It's just how we've done it all season long. I apologize. Artman in to serve. Kennedy Artman. A little trouble, so it will be a free ball sent across. Robinson. Boyer on the attack. It goes off Privia. Oh, what a job by Maltby to get back there. Artman. Robinson outside. Bryan drives it down and out of bounds. She went out down the line. It is a side out to the Blue Jays, and Maltby back to serve the libero. Farrell from one libero to another. Back set Reagan Reed to Josie Bryan. Drives one home. She gets her third kill. And it's side out to the Chargers. Madeline Boyer back to serve now for Illini West. Outside Hoke. Block. Doug. Nope, can't get there. Another kill for Carly Hoke. Her second. The lefty from the right side. That is a huge advantage. Want to say hi to Nick Crow. He's saying this one will go 3. It very well could. Dante Drake is back watching again. Chad Derry, thanks for joining us. And an ace for the Blue Jays. Hoke gets the ace. She'll go back to serve it up again. Gretchen Sullivan, thanks for joining us. Josie Bryan tips it across and down. Her first time through the front row. Her team scores 4 points. She has 4 kills. Checking into the game will be number 4, Abby White, for the Chargers. Josie Bryan back to serve now. Low, hard serve is dug by Clary. Pushed across. Reed is there. One hand set. Reed's going to hit it across. Hoke had it. Now to Clary. Into the net, a hitting error. Point to the Chargers. Josie Bryan gets her first service point. And an ace. And just like that, we're tied at 6. Josie Bryan, 2 service points now. Let's serve again. Josie Bryan, 2 let's serves in a row and 2 aces. And she has 3 straight points, and the Chargers lead 7-6. Another problem for Privia. It's going to be a free ball sent across. Reed has it. Bryan, back set. Carroll, bumped up. Privia hits it across. Farrell's there. Middle. Reagan Reed out of bounds on the attack. Side out on the hitting error. Tied at 7. Blue Jays going back to serve is number 3, Michaela Clary. 7-7, set number 1. Farrell, trouble with that one. Boyer tracks it down. Farrell can send a free ball across. She will. Hoke is there. Set, middle, tipped across, dug up, into the net, dug out, but can't do anything with it. The kill, will give it to her. Number 15, Cassie Cox. And a point for Clary. 8-7. Boyer lets that one go out of bounds. Service there. 8-8. And the libero, Kaylin Farrell, going back to serve for the Chargers. Kennedy Artman comes out. Allison Hunter into the front row for the Chargers. Farrell serve, dug by Maltby. How many times have we seen, that's off the block, the hits and kill for number 14, J.C. Previa. Jana Walker, thanks for joining us. Back to serve into the game, number 20. Couldn't see the number there. Is it number 20? Short serve. We set outside. Privia is out of bounds. It was touched by the Chargers. She'll get the kill. J.C. Privia gets the kill. I believe back there serving is J.C. Guzman.
Yep, that's number 20, Guzman.
Free ball sent across by White. Back set, Hoke from the back row. Boyer's back there. Reagan Reed is blocked by the big middle, Carson Artheloni. She gets her first block, and it's 11-8. 3 straight points, or 2 straight points, excuse me, for number 20, Guzman. Back row attack, Josie Bryan, dug up by Clary. Villa sends it. Bryan's there. Farrell bump set. Hunter tips it. Dug up by Hoke. Sent across by Privia. Reed tips it down and out of bounds. Great thought. Just a little wide for Reagan Reed. And a timeout charge to the Chargers. We'll take one as well. 12-8 to score. The Blue Jays with the lead. We'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, right after this.
Minimally invasive surgery offers a variety of benefits to the patient. We're now able to offer patients a variety of operations with small incisions rather than big open incisions. The surgeries that we can do now, minimally invasive, include bariatrics, hernia repair, colorectal surgeries, faster recovery, smaller incisions, faster time back to work.
And welcome back to Pleasant Plains High School. The Blue Jays, there on your screen, have a 12-8 lead after the Chargers had battled back and tied it at 8. Now behind the serving of J.C. Guzman, she has served 3 straight, and after the side out, it's been a 4-0 run. I'm Dwayne Hulett. John Burton is alongside. Privia, okay, Nick, thank you. White with the attack. It's dug up by Guzman. Outside it comes to Privia, and that's into the net. That's a hitting error. I don't think that ever got over. And we will give the point and the side out to the Chargers. Reagan Reed back to serve now as this will complete the first rotation. Set outside Privia. Dug by Farrell. Bryan to Hunter. Off the block and down. Allison Hunter gets the kill. The first player not called, Josie Bryan, to get a kill for the Chargers, and it's 12-2. The point for Reagan Reed. Clary with the, boy, that looked like a carry. Yeah. Arthur Loney gets called for the carry. Nancy Unruh, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Reagan Reed gets her second service point. Chargers back to within one. An overpass. One at the net. Now it's going to be a free ball to send across. Bryant gets it there. Hoke is there. Middle. Altherloni. Raid to Boyer. Tips it, not across the net. A hitting error and a side out to the Blue Jays. Back to serve the setter, number 18, Caitlin DeFrieser. Her serve, a nice one. Farrell struggles with it. Reed tracks it down. Bryant from the back row. DeFrieser gets it off the shoulder. Privia puts it across. White went down to get it. Back row attack coming from Reagan Reed. Dug up by the libero. Now it's going to be Hoke on the attack. Dug by Reed in the back row. Now Hunter sends it across. Now Privia is blocked and down. Madeline Boyer gets the block. Side out, back to the Chargers. In to serve, Corinne Robinson. Robinson will serve. She served one service point in her first service attempt. She is the first Chargers server to serve a second time. Off of Hoke. It's a free ball, going to be pushed across by Privia. Robinson out to Bryan, blocked down by the big middle, Carson Artheloni, her second block, and a point to the Blue Jays. Going back to serve, the senior, number 14, is J.C. Privia. Robinson, Boyer tips it across. Hoke digs it up. Privia, now it's going to be Clary pushing it across. Robinson outside Bryan, tips it down with the left hand, and Bryan gets called for in the nets. Point to Privia and the Blue Jays. They now are back up to a 3-point advantage, 15-2. That one ate Reagan Reed up a little bit. Boyer's going to send a free ball across. Privia goes down to get it. Blocked off by Hoke, out of bounds, off the block. Another kill for Carly Hoke, her third. Timeout charge to the Chargers, their second timeout. It's 16-12, the lead for the Blue Jays of PORTA AC Central. And John, this has been a fast-moving game.
Yeah, definitely a lot faster comparatively, I would say, to the Macomb game. And maybe really not, but it just feels that way. This PORTA squad's come out, firing on all cylinders. They've looked good matched up against this Chargers team that we know how tough Illini West is, but is able to secure the lead so far. But again, Chargers down, but definitely not out. They can come back at any time with the amount of firepower that they have.
Now, one thing I want to point out, and I don't know if this was planned between the two schools, but I saw a post earlier today where the Chargers were doing a whiteout for tonight's game. For the PORTA Blue Jays, it's a blackout. So that's pretty cool. Would have been odd if they'd have both wore white tonight, right?
Yeah, and they brought the mascot along too.
Yes.
The Blue Jay over there dancing around.
Privia, dug by Farrell. Now out to Josie Bryan. Dug by Maltby. Bumped across. Bump set out to Bryan again. Down the line, Maltby is there again. Hoke pushes that one across. Robinson. Farrell again to Josie Bryan. Off of Clary, did a great job to dig that one up.
That one set to the middle for Boyer, and Chill hit it out of bounds.
Yeah, she got a little wide on that one, and it's 17-12. Privia gets another point. And Josie Bryan hits that one out of bounds. 5 service points for J.C. Privia. Back to Hunter, blocked down, dug up by Clary, out of bounds. Hunter gets the kill and stops the bleeding for the Chargers just a little bit. Kennedy Artman's going to check in for her, or for, Hunter, excuse me, and Artman will go back to serve. Set, middle. Artheloni gets the kill. She is so quick and so tall. If she gets a quick like that, John, it's almost impossible to stop that.
Yeah, as you mentioned, we kind of talked pregame. She definitely had the size, but now watching her play, you can tell she's got the skills too. Great hands, pretty decent footwork, and as you mentioned, that quick to her has been money all night.
Maltby serves it out of bounds on a service there. Madeline Boyer back to serve now. Dug up by Clary. Set middle. Out of bounds on the attack by Cox. Point to the Chargers. Boyer gets the point. 19-15, a 4-point lead. Dante Drake, we appreciate you watching, sir. Blocked out of bounds. Hoke on the kill for the Blue Jays. A left-handed right side hitter as big and as talented as Hoke is, it's understandable why the Blue Jays have found their way to a sectional tonight as they lead 20-15 here. Boyer back set to Bryan. This is by talking about the hands of Boyer being able to set as well. Clary hits that into the net. A hitting error, side out to the Chargers. But Madeline Boyer, that one rotation where she sets as well, is just almost phenomenal that a lady of her size can have the footwork and the hands to do that. Bryan, a server. Clary, dug by Farrell. Bryan tries to get it across, can't. A setting error. Point to the Blue Jays. And back to serve is Michaela Clary, number 3. 21-16. Addie White in the game. That's Maltby after pushed across by Reed. Privia, dug by Farrell. Quick to Reagan Reed, off the block and down as she abuses the block of Cassie Cox. And Reagan Reed gets her first kill. Kaylin Farrell back to serve now for the Chargers. Hunter, White, and Reed in the front row. Reed on the overpass, tips it down. They're going to get that across. What a job by the Blue Jays. Privia, the last one to get it across. Now on the push across, she's there. She's going to set. And Cox went to the net for a quick, and it was not set as a quick by number 18, Caitlin DeFreezer. Point for Farrell. Her second. First, excuse me. And an ace for Kaylin Farrell, her second point. And just like that, it's 21-19. Timeout, charge to the Blue Jays. Chap, thank you very much. Chap says IDub is going to win in 2.
They got some work to do here in this one.
They got some work to do, Chap, if they're going to make that. Julie Tierstrip, 2 of the best officials in the state. And Julie, I don't know if you were watching the MHS broadcast or not, Julie, but I mentioned that I don't know the names of the officials, but the down official now, he was the chair up official in the first set. I've been working with him a little bit, so to speak, in the Division I games we've been doing. He was officiating some Western Illinois University volleyball over the weekend. So are some good officials here tonight. They have done, I think, in both matches, John, a really good job. And I know that from time to time we've been hard on officials for missing like what we look from where we look, but these guys tonight have done a really good job on the floor and in the chair.
Yeah, I mean, pretty spot on all night. I can't think of one call between either games. I mean, obviously you're going to have ones that are close, but I think for the most part they've called a great game even on both sides, and that's just what you expect here in the sectional semifinal.
Hartsburg-Enden over Minden Unity 25-22 in set number 1, and Triopia, that ball sends across there. It's going to be middle and down. A kill for Cassie Cox. That's her second, and a side out after the timeout. Guzman checking back in. She served 3 straight to open the game up earlier. If she can serve 3 straight here, she'll get her team a win. JC Guzman back to serve. That's Bryan. Boyer, a bump set. Reagan Reed off the block, dug up. Clary's there. It's going to be a bump set to Privia. Blocked down. Reagan Reed gets the block, and the Chargers get the side out.
And that's a huge play late in this set. Pick up the side out. Big block by Reed. She'll come back to serve, trying to get her team back into this one.
Reagan Reed into the back row to serve. That means Hunter, White, and Boyer are in the front row for the Chargers. Here's a quick to Alterlund, and that's going to be a double hit on the set. And the Chargers down by 1 as Reed gets her third service point. 22-21. Chap might be at home willing this one. Boyer drives it home, and we're tied at 22. Madeline Boyer, her first kill of the match, is a big one, and Reagan Reed gets another service point. Privia is there. Back to Privia on the attack. Blocked down. What a dig by Clary for the Blue Jays. Pushed across. Bryan is there. Bump set by Farrell. Hunter. It blocked down that time by Privia. Privia gets the block, and it's 23-22 Blue Jays. And back to serve will be the setter, Caitlin DeFrieser. An overpass. And Hoke is there for the kill, her 5th. It's set point, Blue Jays. DeFrieser gets her first service point. 24-22 Blue Jays. Farrell, a little trouble. Reed's going to get there. Back row, Bryan hits it into the net. Set point on a hitting error to the Blue Jays. 25-22. Here in set number 1, we'll head to set 2 with the Blue Jays up 1-0. We'll take a break here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Minimally invasive surgery offers a variety of benefits to the patient. We are now able to offer patients a variety of operations with small incisions rather than big open incisions. The surgeries that we can do now, minimally invasive, include bariatrics, hernia repair, colorectal surgeries, faster recovery, smaller incisions, faster time back to work.
My experience with McDonough District Hospital was amazing. I have a lot of allergies, complicated by nasal problems. And the procedure I had is Vive Air. Dr. Sparks was incredible.
The Vive Air procedure is a radiofrequency ablation procedure. She no longer has to do any medications to breathe, so she gets much more restful night's sleep. And a short little office procedure, and have somebody that feels like it's totally changed their life means the world.
It's a permanent improvement on the quality of your life.
When my parents told me they'd be using Adams Experts, I felt a bit replaced. I mean, they always called me to remove their viruses or get their printer connected to Wi-Fi. He even set up their new Roku.
How do I adopt a new son?
But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adams Experts. Repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home technology needs.
And welcome back to Pleasant Plains High School in Pleasant Plains, Illinois. It's Class 2A IHSA Sectional Semifinal Volleyball here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. I'm Dwayne Hulett. John Burton is alongside. And John, Kenny Suter sent me a message last Thursday night while I was doing the Western game from Southeastern and said, why can't all our games be this good? I'm saying now, why can't all our games be as good as these games have been tonight?
Yeah, well, let me talk to you, Dwayne. This is the sectional semifinals. If you expected anything different, I don't know. It's been great volleyball here tonight. I expect more of the same on Wednesday. Again, this team playing for a chance to play, both of these teams playing for a chance to take on Pleasant Plains, and we saw how good they looked earlier on here tonight. Either of these teams matched up with that Pleasant Plains team is going to be a great sectional final.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, both of these teams here tonight have some very good middles and some very good outsides. I think the key to this game may end up being number 6 on the Blue Jays. She hits from the right side, and she's a lefty, and she is legit, folks. She is very good. Carly Hoke may be the one to make the difference down the stretch here, because when you can set your right with that kind of ferocity, it makes you a very, very, very good volleyball team.
Yeah, and Porter looked great in that first set here. Illini West kind of felt like maybe they had a little trouble passing the ball. I would say not really quite able to get Reed or Brian involved too much, but when they were able to get it set up to them, of course, they were great as always.
Great job by Brian to go get that serve of Guzman, who hit the net, and it rolled over middle. Arthur gets the kill right off the bat. That gives her 4. A point for Guzman is her 5th. And I haven't even updated the scoreboard yet, so let's do that. It's 1-0 here in set number 2. Reagan Reed, Brian, out to Hunter, blocked down, out of bounds on the overpass by Robinson. Believe that was Privia on the block. We'll give it to her anyway. That's her second. Guzman gets another service point. It's 2-0. Bryan's going to tip that one across, and she'll get the kill. Josie Bryant gets her 5th kill. Kennedy Artman checking in for Illini West. I want to point out, Josie Bryant had 4 kills in set 1, John, on her first trip across the front row. She never got another kill the rest of the set.
Yeah, that's kind of mentioned something like that as we got a discussion here down on the near side. Like you said, when Illini West is able to get in system and get that set over to Bryant, she has been electric all season, but Porter doing a nice job just keeping the pressure on, not letting Illini West get set up.
I think Hoke has a cut maybe on her finger or a hangnail or something, but she's going to have to get a Band-Aid put on a finger there. So we'll take a quick break here as the trainer came out to give Coach a Band-Aid. And it's funny because Carly Hoke's like, I don't see what the big problem is here. Why are we not playing? But she got the Band-Aid, and away we go as Artman serves it up. Clary goes down to get it. Outside, that's Privia off the block and down. Point for Privia. And DeFreezer will go back to serve. (3-1) the score. Off of Robinson, an ace for DeFreezer. (4-1) the score. Reed, back set. Bryan tips it across. Privia is there. Not a good set, but she's going to get the attack anyway. Farrell, trouble. Tracked down by Bryan, sent across by Robinson. Clary is there. DeFreezer now, out back. Hoke drives it down and in.
And there
Carly
you go.
Hoke.
Yeah, there you go. Carly Hoke getting in on the action. Another big kill there on the far sideline on the right side. Able to put her team up by 4, and it's been all Blue Jays here in set number 2 to this point.
DeFreezer got another service point there. They are having problems with serve receive. DeFreezer now. Hoke's going to send a free ball across. Hunter, Boyer, dug by Privia. Now Privia from the 10-foot line sends that one across. Robinson, Farrell, back to Bryan. Bryan drives it down and through the block of Artheloni. Josie Bryan gets her 6th kill. Side out to the Chargers. Hey, Chap, I haven't looked at the feed itself, but it should be reset. If it's not reset, let me know, bud. As Boyer's serve is out of bounds, a service error. Back to the Blue Jays, and going back to serve at number 14, J.C. Privia. And a service error. Another point for the Chargers, down 6-3. And Josie Bryan back to serve now for Illini West. To the net, Hoke sends it across. Bryan sets middle to Reed, and Reed drives that one home. Reagan Reed gets the kill, her second. And the Chargers now down by 2, 6-4. Tipped across and out of bounds. Artheloni.
Well, we got a situation here. The line judge called it out. Up judge said it was in, but the line judge is going to overrule it there. Another point on Illini West. That was a close one.
That was really close. Josie Bryan gets the service point. Her fourth. Farrell. Bryan. Reagan Reed tips it down. Reagan Reed gets her third kill, and we're tied at 6. Josie Bryan gets another service point, unofficially her 5th. Hoke's going to push that one across. Farrell's there. Bryan to Reed again. This time she tips it down. It's dug by Clary. Boyer with the dig. Middle, Reed tips it. It won't go across. She wanted it quick, and unfortunately, Bryan couldn't get it to her quick enough. Back to serve number 1, Chloe Maltby, the libero for the Blue Jays. Middle, Reed drives it off Maltby. Reagan Reed up to 4 kills now as she is lighting it up in the front row this time through, and we're tied at 7.
Yeah, Reagan Reed starting to come to life here. Chargers could have used that in the first set, but they'll take it here in set number 2. They got things tied up at 7.
Kaylin Farrell back to serve. Deep serve off of Privia, and the Chargers take a 1-point lead. The ace by Kaylin Farrell, her 4th point, 2nd ace. It's 8-7. Well, they have 7-7 on the scoreboard. It should be 8-7, right?
I believe so. It was just 7-7 and then that ace.
Middle, Reed off the block, dug by Cox. Now it's going to be blocked again by Reed. Clary on that attack. Now it's White. Back set, Reed on the slide, dug up by Privia. Outside it comes to Clary. She tips it across. White is there. Back to White from Bryan. Tipped across. Clary goes down to get it. Pushed across. Boyer's there to the net. It's going to be tipped across. They don't call a back row attack. They wanted it. Did the Blue Jays coaching staff. Blocked by Reed. Oh, what a job, Maltby. Oh, but they can't get it across. Man, Chloe Maltby goes after one and in all honesty gave her team a really good shot to get a free ball across.
And we've seen a lot of excellent back row play here tonight. We check out the Macomb. We get so many plays where the libero or just those defensive specialists in the back row hustling over to the ball. And as you mentioned, sectional semifinal, I would expect nothing less out of these teams.
There's Clary on the attack. Boyer with the dig. Middle, it goes to Reed again. Boy, that looked like a carry. They wanted it too. Now it's going to be a setting error and a 2-point lead, make it a 3-point lead for the Chargers. Timeout, Blue Jays. Illini West has come all the way back from down 6-1 to take a 10-7 lead here in set number 2. The Blue Jays won set 1, 25-22. You're watching Class 2A IHSA sectional semifinal action on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. And the timeout called now by the Blue Jays. As we said, this one is a really good game, back and forth, back and forth. The Chargers now have opened up a 3-point advantage, but I made a big deal about it, but Chloe Maltby, the libero for the Blue Jays, and Kaylin Farrell, the libero for Illini West, are two of the better liberos I've seen all year long.
Yeah, and sometimes when you're up here calling the games, the liberos don't get talked about very much because, you know, they're not up front with all the action, but definitely the heart and soul of a lot of these teams you see in the areas that liberos play such a big role, especially defensively. Gave the Blue Jays a chance to send a free ball back through, just wasn't able to connect on the other end of that pass there. But definitely a great play so far here tonight.
Hoke's going to push that one across. Farrell was there. Bryan, a punch up. Farrell sends a free ball across. Privia. Quick. Cox, dug by Farrell. White's going to track it down. Bryan's going to send a free ball. Privia is there. Hoke off the block, dug by White. Back set, Hunter on the attack. Deep corner, Maltby got to it. Hoke's going to send it up. Free ball's going to go across by Clary. Boyer is there. Quick to Reed, drives it off Maltby. Reagan Reed, her 5th kill. And the Chargers are up 11-7. Farrell has served 5 straight.
And the Chargers have really done a much better job passing to this point here in the second set, and they got a big lead thanks to it. Another deep serve. That one tracked down nicely. I believe that was Hoke on the outside. Did a nice job there. Reed tip in the middle. That one dug up. The free ball sent back through.
Quick to Reed again, off the block of Cox, and it'll go down. Reagan Reed, her 6th kill, 5th one of the set, and that's all from this time through the rotation on the front row, and it's a 5-point lead for the Chargers. Maltby, Hoke, Cox sends it across. Boyer is there. Middle, Reed from Bryan, dug up. That was Bell, I believe, on a dig, pushed across by Hoke. Middle, again, Reed, hit that one harder. Privia sends it across by the Blue Jays. Now back to Hunter, who sent it across. Maltby tracked it down. Now it's going to be Hoke on the attack, and she just couldn't get into a position to hit it. Another point on the hitting error. Really, John, more of a setting error than a hitting error.
Yeah, Hoke kind of had to backtrack for that one a little bit. Wasn't able to get a very good run up on it. Hit it partially, but.
Farrell to serve it again, and a service error, serves it out. Stops the bleeding for the Blue Jays, and going back to serve is number 6, Carly Hoke. She's got 1 service point. It was an ace. She's got 6 kills, though she was not very effective that time through the front row. It's 13-8. The Blue Jays trail by 5, and Hoke serves it up. Bryan, Boyer, Reed pushes it deep. Maltby's there. DeFreezer, Clary off the net, dug up. Hunter pushes it across. Privia is there. DeFreezer back to Clary again. Hit into the net. That never got over. That's a hitting error. A side out to the Chargers. Reagan Reed back to serve now. 14-8. Chargers with the lead. Reagan Reed served up 4 service points earlier. Privia. Hoke blocked by Boyer. DeFreezer sends it across. Farrell is there. Quick to Boyer in the middle. Off the block, dug up by DeFreezer. Set over on the bump to, now Boyer's going to dig that one up. Now White's going to hit it across. Dug by Hoke. Cox on the attack. Dug by Boyer. Farrell, and the Chargers get it across. Maltby. Now it's going to go out to Clary. Dug by Reed. Bryan comes to get it. Out to White. White hits it into the net. A hitting error charged to the Chargers and Abby White. Clary back to serve now for the Blue Jays. Her team down 14-9. And she sailed that one out the back of the court. Chargers get the service error from the Blue Jays. White comes out, Robinson comes in. Corinne Robinson in to serve. She'll set as well. Parvia goes down to get it. Cox blocked but down off the block of Boyer. Side out back to the Blue Jays. Coming in to serve for the Blue Jays will be J.C. Guzman, and she has 6 service points. She has been effective at the service line for the Blue Jays. They need it from her now as they are down 15-10 here in set number 2. Short. Bryan went to get it. Quick in the middle to Boyer, and she drives it home beside Clary and down. Madeline Boyer gets her second kill to go with her 2 blocks. And a side out as Kennedy Artman comes in to serve now for the Chargers, with the Chargers up 16-10. Artman to serve. Clary. DeFreezer tips it across. Second hit is going to be Audra Carroll with the attack. Now it's going to come out to Privia, and through the hands of Josie Bryan, Privia gets the kill. JC Privia gets her third kill to go with 2 blocks and 5 service points. DeFreezer, the setter, back to serve now. Bryan tipped across, dug up by DeFreezer. Hoke. And in the net was Boyer. Hoke, we'll give Hoke the kill. I don't know if they'll give it to her officially, but we'll give her one. That's 7. It was going to go down anyway. DeFreezer gets the point. She gets her 4th point. Let's serve, punched up, out to Carroll, and she'll get the kill. Audra Carroll from the left side gets the kill on serve receive. That's her first kill. And it's a side out and back to a 5-point lead for the Chargers here in set 2. They drop set 1, 25-22. Madeline Boyer back to serve now for Illini West. Privia gets it. It's going to come to Hoke. She'll push it across. Robinson, Farrell, out to Josie Bryan. Dug up by Privia. Back set Hoke, and it'll fall. Carly Hoke gets her 8th kill. Point to the Blue Jays at 17-13. Farrell, Boyer, back to Bryan, and out of bounds. She tried to, they're saying it was touched. And the down official says, no, it wasn't. Privia gets the points.
Definitely it kind of looked weird off of Bryan's hand there. I thought it was touched initially. The ball took a weird angle, but must have just hit it off the side of her hand. Service error there.
18-14, back to a 4-point lead. Josie Bryan back to serve now. Josie Bryan again, ineffective that time through the front row, but the Chargers stayed ahead in the game. Farrell, Bryan to Reed, off of a diving Guzman, and Reagan Reed gets the kill. Reagan Reed has 7 kills total, 6 of them here in set number 1. Maltby comes back in replacing Cox. Bryan got the service point, her 6th. Free ball by Hoke. Farrell is there. Bryan, Reed again, dug up by Clary. Pushed across by Artheloni. Now Reed's going to push it. Clary on the attack and out of bounds. Barely, but it was out. And Bryan gets another service point. And I don't know if I could have let that one go or not. Josie Bryan serves that one into the net. It's 20-15. Chargers lead by 5, down 1 set to none. Back to serve the libero Chloe Maltby for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays used to close matches. Overpass, and there to take advantage was number 15, Cassie Cox, to get her 3rd kill. And Maltby gets her 1st service point. Once again, hop in the live chat. Tell us where you're watching from and who you're cheering for. We love to see it. Farrell, Bryan, Reed, deep and out.
Now you can't let your foot off the gas pedal here if you're the Chargers. Blue Jays now within 3.
Yeah, getting a little, almost too fancy, trying to make something happen all the time. And there's an ace and a timeout, I would imagine, is going to come from Illini West.
Nope, not quite.
Nope, not quite. I thought you'd see one right there. That's an ace from Maltby.
Oh, there it is.
She served 3 straight. It's 20-18, and the Blue Jays are closing back in, trying to soar their way to a 2-set win over Illini West. Illini West was up 20-14 before the side out. It's been 3 straight service points after that from Chloe Maltby, and it's down to a 2-point advantage for the Chargers as they have to force a set 3 and get the win here in set 2 if they want to advance to the sectional finals on Thursday night here or on Wednesday night, here at Pleasant Plains High School against the host Pleasant Plains Cardinals. Once again, hop in that live chat. Tell us where you're watching from and who you are cheering for. Make sure to like the stream, subscribe to our channel. We'd greatly appreciate it. Our plan is to be back here Wednesday either way, so hop in and let us know where you're watching from. Not real sure, but I think I see Ned Eckert standing down here to my left. Can't see very well, but I think it's him. Am I wrong, Ned? Maltby on the serve. White on the attack. Dug by Privia. Back set Hoke. Boyer with the dig. Bryan a bump set. White again is going to send a free ball across. Privia is there. Bell sets quick to Cox. Dug by Boyer. Bump set. Reed's going to send a free ball across deep. Maltby's there. They are a little bit out of system now. It's going to be a free ball. Now Illini West with a good chance here. A quick to Reed. Off the block and down off the net into Clary. And Reagan Reed gets the kill. Reagan Reed has 8 kills, 7 of them here in set number 2. I want to say Julie Tierstrip, thanks for watching us from Industry. Rhonda Jensen watching all the way from Des Moines, Iowa. Chad Deary, Minden Unity, 25-23 in set 2. So, Hartsburg Emden beat Minden Unity 25-23, Hoke pushes that one across. Outside, Hunter tips it across. It's dug up. It's going to be Clary going to try to attack it. She will a little bit. Bryan is there. Farrell comes to get it. Outside, Hunter again from the right side. Deep, Maltby is there. And again, struggling with that overhand serve or hit and receive. Reed out to White from Bryan. Dug up by Bell. Privia goes to get it. It's going to be a free ball sent across by Cox. Farrell, a one-arm dig. White, and Bryan gets it across. What a job. And now it's going to be Cox pushing it across. White, and now it's going to fall finally. And Cox is going to get the kill, her 4th. What a job by both teams tracking things down. Gedney Mosier is watching from Jacksonville, Florida. Thanks for joining us. So Hartsburg Emden moves on to play Decatur Unity in the 1A at Triopia. Trouble and an ace for Carly Hoke. Her 2nd point, 2nd ace. And it's a 1-point game, 21-20. Saren Hill watching from La Harpe. Boyer, back row attack coming from Bryan. Privia is there. DeFreezer to Clary. Off the block, dug by Boyer. Bryan, Reed drives it home. Reagan Reed is on fire. 22-21. Chris Watson watching from Hannibal. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. And Reagan Reed serves it up to the net. Clary pushes it across. Thought it was outside the pole. No call. They did finally call it. And it was outside the pole, outside the antenna on the hitting air. Reed gets the service point. She has got 5, and it's 23-20. Reed is in fuego. Isn't that what they used to say all the time on ESPN? Bryan, bump set, Boyer tips it across. Clary's there. DeFreezer, back to Clary, pushes it across left hand. Bryan goes to get it. Farrell, bump set, back row, Reed. To the net, punched across. Farrell's there. Bryan, quick to Boyer. Boyer gets the kill. Madeline Boyer, her 3rd kill. And the Chargers are 1 point away from sending it to set 3. 24-20, timeout. Charge to the Blue Jays. Reagan Reed, 6 service points now.
I was going to say, earlier we talked about Artheloni, how good she has been on that quick in the middle all night. But Madeline Boyer, I mean, man, she has made a great job here so far in the 2nd set. She's been able to dice up the Blue Jays defense there on those quicks as well. So definitely some tough middles playing here tonight in the Illini West. Now 1 point away from sending us to a 3rd set here in the sectional semifinal.
We talked about it in the first match, but I'm going to tell you what, the 2 student sections are have been awesome. A good student section for Illini West, who's traveled farther than anybody to get here by far. 20 minutes farther than Macomb even. And they have a good student section. PORTA, who's just down the road, has a great student section. And Reagan Reed is back to serve it up for the Chargers. A set point for Illini West. They have 4 of them. Reagan Reed serves it into the net, a service error. 24-21. Liz Hitz is watching from La Harpe, watching Kaylin Farrell. Back to serve is Michaela Clary. 1 set point averted for the Blue Jays. They have 3 more to take care of. Reagan Reed back to Josie Bryan from the back row. Clary's there. Privia sends it across. Farrell, Josie Bryan. Oh, and it's going to be Madeline Boyer, who might have got bailed out. I think that was going out of bounds, but Madeline Boyer is going to get her 4th kill, and Illini West wins 25-21. We're going 3 in a semifinal here from Pleasant Plains as Illini West forces a set 3, and the winner take all here for the chance to play Pleasant Plains in the sectional final on Wednesday night. And man, oh man, Reagan Reed, folks. Larry Palmer is watching. David Casper is watching. Dante Drake says Monday Night Volleyball is probably way better than the Raiders and whoever they're playing, the Packers or whatever it is going on right now. Lucas Cole, thanks for joining us. Jackson Porter, thanks for joining us. And Lucas Cole said Reed is insane, and she was legit in set number 2.
Yeah, and Illini West really wasn't able to get her the ball much there in set number 1, but man, she came through huge. Would you say 7 kills in that set?
That was earlier. Yeah, she had 8 kills.
8 kills on the night. I mean,
She's got 9, 8 in that set.
Right. Front row, back row doesn't matter, and that's exactly what the Chargers needed in that set number 2. And as you mentioned, man, there is nothing like some great volleyball contests. It's one of those sports when you get 2 great teams like we have here tonight in both games, there is nothing more exciting.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun. I absolutely love volleyball. I want to thank the Blue Jays fans that are sitting in front of me for not turning around and smacking me or nothing. I yell a lot when I'm doing these games. They just turned and laughed at me, so apparently they don't hate me yet. So that's a plus. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I have a big mouth, so you might be deaf by the time you get out of here. I apologize, but we are having a ton of fun here tonight. This has been a good one. We're heading set 3, as we said, 25-22. It was PORTA in set 1, 25-21. Chargers in set 2. So let's, before Chap gets on me again, I'm going to reset the scoreboard early in this one. 0-0. My scoreboard doesn't want to work for me. I tried to do it right for a change, and it doesn't want to. I want to thank everybody for hopping in the live chat, telling us where you're watching from and who you're cheering for. We love seeing that. It's a lot of fun. And hopefully we can have just as exciting, maybe even more so. Now, I want to point out, we talked about this a little bit before the game started. The Blue Jays are not unused to this kind of a contest. We talked really quickly about how they got through their regional. They played a match against Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin in their semifinal for the regional, folks. 25-17, easy enough. 27-29, they lost set 2. They won set 3, 26-24. These Blue Jays can play under pressure, and we'll see if they're able to hang with and then do that same kind of thing against the Chargers a little bit later.
Yeah, in comparison, the Chargers have had a little bit of an easier road here to this sectional semifinal matchup. Maybe took them a set to get kind of woken up there, dropping that first one, but definitely came back firing on all cylinders in set number 2. And, man, we are set for an awesome set number 3. I cannot wait.
Vanessa Sidwell watching from Arkansas. Thanks for joining us. Hey, this is David Casper. You're right. This is great sectional volleyball. Guzman sets it up. Here we go. Set 3 is underway. A service error. And just like that, The Chargers take an early lead, 1-0. Dallas Shootman, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Watching from Macomb. Watch the first one and watch the second one. Brad Chardon from Gulf Shores, Alabama. Big Bobby watching from La Harpe. Appreciate it. Pushed across by Clary. Robinson. Middle, Bryan on the left side. It's in. Josie Bryan gets the kill. Her 7th. The point for Kennedy Artman. That's her first, and it's 2-0. Chargers, DeFreezer, near side Privia, and she nailed that one into the net. A hitting error, and it's 3-0 Chargers early. Now, you might be concerned if you're the Blue Jays or if you're just tuning in. I think that it's way too early to be too concerned if you're the Blue Jays. Oh, DeFreezer tips that one across. They have battled back in both sets. That one's off the block of Artheloni by Madeline Boyer. She must have heard John saying that Artheloni was the better middle there early because
when did I say that?
She is coming to life. I'm just kidding. He didn't say that. But I like to give John a hard time. Privia, dug by Reed. Robinson, outside. Carroll off the block and down. Audra Carroll getting into the act now for the Chargers, and they lead 5-0. Her second kill. Artman, her 4th straight service point. Off the block. Oh, Artman, what a dig. Out to Bryan. It's out. Just a little wide. Side out on the hitting error.
Man, I think the Chargers would have blew the roof off the place if Bryan was able to keep that thing in. Man, you could feel the tension building. You got a quick 5-point lead. Slam another one down there, and it would have been huge.
DeFreezer with the serve. Reed tracks that one down. It's going to be Audra Carroll sending it across. Maltby, a good pass this time. Hoke. Artman is there. Farrell. No, that was Robinson, excuse me. Bryan with the attack. DeFreezer to Privia. Oh, that was going out of bounds, and Reed stuck an arm out and got it. Privia gets the kill, and she bailed Privia out on a hitting error there. It's the 4th kill for Privia. David Wilcock, Shauna Brown from Colchester rooting on Illini West. Off the net, a great serve by dig by Bryan. Blocked down. Oh, they're going to get it across. Oh, no, they're not. Oh, man. I thought they were going to, but not quite. And it's 5-3 as 2 straight points for DeFreezer. Her 5th and 6th points. Like we said, no reason to worry Jess Follett if you're the Blue Jays. Bryan sent that one across. DeFreezer. Tipped down by Josie Bryan on the overpass. We'll call it a block because DeFreezer went up to get it as well, and they both hit it. Bryan gets the block. And a side out for the Chargers. Madeline Boyer back to serve. Cindy Anders watching from La Harpe. Thank you for tuning in. Hoke dug by Boyer. Robinson over to Bryan and off the block and down. Josie Bryan and Artman. That was as good of a bump set from the opposite side of court as you're ever going to see, folks. It's 7-3. Bryan gets her 8th kill. Boyer gets the service point, her 2nd. An overpass, tipped down by Reagan Reed. Who else? She gets her 10th kill. Yeah, so it'll be Hartsburg, Emden, and Decatur Unity Christian in this final on Wednesday for Class 1A at Triopia. Right now it's 8-3 Chargers. Reagan Reed, Clary, what a dig. Maltby. Now Clary's going to send a free ball across. Farrell's there. A good pass. Robinson comes to get it. Out to Bryan. Out of bounds. She got a little ahead of that one. Sent it sailing out of bounds. Side out to the Blue Jays. And back to serve is going to be number 14, J.C. Privia. Farrell got ate up a little bit by that one. Tipped across by Bryan. Clary, free ball. Robinson, Reed into the net. What are we going to call? Going to call a replay. Going to call a replay for something. Not sure. I think the official tried to blow a whistle, or somebody did, so he calls the replay, and it'll stay 8-4. Becky Smith watching from La Harpe. Thank you. Privia back to serve it up again. Same thing all over again. Boyer back set. Bryan dug by Privia. Bell back set Hoke. Robinson with the dig. Back set now to Bryan again. Down. Oh, what a job. Privia got there. How on earth did Privia get her hand underneath that?
I have no clue. It kind of looked like she almost did the splits there in the back row, was able to get the one arm out.
Bryan gets the kill, though.
Had a decent chance there at the net to pull it out, but not quite able to get there in time.
It's 9-4, but Privia, folks, man, oh, I don't know how she got that. Maltby tracks it down, and a passing error makes it 10-4, and Bryan gets the service point, her 8th service point. Hard, low serve, Privia's there. Bump set out to Clary. Farrell goes to get it. Pushed across by Reed, too deep and out. Good thought, just didn't quite keep it in. Back to serve will be the libero, Chloe Maltby. She has played very well for the Blue Jays tonight. Quick Reed tips it down, Clary's there. Bell back out to Hoke. Hoke sends it across. Boyer. Quick middle Reed. Drives it down. Privia is there. Pushed across by Hoke. Farrell. Now Boyer. White. Going to hit it across. How do they even do that from back that direction? I don't even know. Hoke on the attack and down. Carly Hoke gets the kill. Her 9th. 10-6. Big Bobby watching from La Harpe. Thanks for joining us. Out of bounds, Maltby sends that one deep. Hunter checks back in. Kennedy Artman goes out. Kaylin Farrell back to serve. Farrell has served 8 service points, including 2 aces for the Chargers. Her team is up 11-6 here in set number 3. Maltby, a good pass. Bell is there. Quick to Cox, off the net, and just barely in. The kill for Cassie Cox, her 5th. Side out. Hoke to serve. Somehow Hunter hesitated but got it across. There's a quick to Cox. Farrell is there. Bryan to Reed, off the block and down. Cassie Cox got a hand on it, but Reed gets the kill. It's 12-7, and Reagan Reed going back to serve now. Zach Burling's watching from Carthage. Thanks for joining us. Reed is there on the attack from Cox. Bryan, middle to Boyer, and in. Madeline Boyer has come to life. She's got 6 kills, and the Chargers lead 13-7. Terry Teasdale says the Teasdales are watching from La Harpe. Go Chargers. Reed, another hard serve and overpass, and Boyer is there. Madeline Boyer, 7 kills now. Timeout. Charge to the Blue Jays. Their 2nd timeout. It's 14-7. Chargers are doubling up the Blue Jays here in set number 3. Tom and Jenny White, thanks for joining us. King of Dumming, Patty Willock, cheering on Illini West. The Stongers from La Harpe are watching. Well, I tell you what, we got a lot of people in the live chat. I like to tell everybody, so everybody, if the live chat isn't available to you, you get to see who was watching. And this match has been so much fun. I mean, we don't, and you and I don't have a dog in the fight, right? I mean, we're here, we cover Illini West a lot. They're not one of our regular teams. PORTA, it's the first time we've seen them, but these are 2. You know, I consider, my daughter goes to Illini West, so I have a little bit of a tie to Illini West, but she doesn't play volleyball. But tell you what, this is a lot of fun. It's been a great one.
Yeah, and it's almost better sometimes watching these games where you don't have a dog in the fight. You don't feel the heartbreak when they do something wrong or lose or anything like that. But, man, you can feel all sorts of ways watching some great volleyball.
Dessa Rotifer is watching, and a service error by Reagan Reed. I used to work for Dessa back in the day at the Henderson and Hancock County Quills, one of my first newspaper jobs. Chad Derry, thanks for joining us in again. Carolyn Trouts watching from Disco. Hey, you're right there in my neck of the woods. Grandma and Grandpa Eckert lived right over there. There's the attack. It's going to be outside. Privia now on the attack. I don't think that got over. They said Hunter touched it. It's pushed across. White, Bryan, Boyer, Privia with a dig. DeFreezer back to Privia. Hit across. White got a hand under it. They're going to get a free ball across. Hunter got it across. Hoke is there. DeFreezer. Privia blocked, dug up by White again. That was a pancake by White. Boyer tips it across. Hoke is there. Outside Privia again, and she's going to get the kill. Maddie Shutwell is watching. Lance Robertson from Cancun, Mexico. Maddie Cole is watching. Clary with the serve. Cox. And Boyer tipped it out of bounds. Cox gets the kill. That wasn't the prettiest of kills, but she got it. Clary gets her second and third service points, and it's 14-10. Nick says he knew this was going to be a great game, and he was right. There's a hitting error. It did not get over, and it's 14-11. Timeout, Illini West. Just when you think the Chargers are running away, the Blue Jays say, not so quick. Tap the brakes. We're going to stay with this one. It's 14-11 as Michaela Clary has served 3 straight points, and it's 14-11. Want to say hi to Maya Caddy and Luke Jacob. Luke is supposedly watching from Pyongyang, North Korea. If he's in the military, maybe.
Could be. That's I gotta say that's the that would be the furthest person that we've ever had on here watching. Most unique place for sure.
Kelly Freeman's watching. Bobby Klesson, Jackson Porter. Nick, you called it. You said it'd be 3 sets, and you're right. Absolutely. Belliver Palmer, Brenda Palmer from Durham is watching. My grandma and grandpa went to church in Durham, actually. I have a lot of ties to the Illini West area. Reed, Boyer, tip down and kill Madeline Boyer.
And that's a huge play coming out of the timeout. Looked like maybe Porter was starting to steal some of that momentum, but a big tip there from Boyer. Side out Illini West.
Robinson in to serve. Holly Mosier's watching from Jacksonville, Florida. Privia. Oh, Reed gets an overpass, and it's going to stay alive. DeFreezer. Cox, man, how did she get that one across? Robinson outside. Josie Bryan blocked out of bounds. Josie Bryan with the kill. Her 10th. 16-11, Illini West. Mandy Steinkamp from Carthage watching, her and Dave, excuse me. Robinson out to Bryan, drives it off of Clary, but an in-the-net violation. I'm going to go ahead and give Bryan a kill. I don't think they'd have got that over. They might have it 17-11. Mackenzie Donaldson, Sawyer pinch, Watson from La Harpe. Outside it comes to Privia. It's blocked up. Boyer punches it up. Out to Josie Bryan. Off the block. Privia dumps it up. Now Privia pushes it across. Bryan. Robinson. Bryan called for it immediately. She got it back. Maltby tracks it down. DeFreezer sends it across. Boyer. Robinson. Boyer! Off of Maltby. Madeline Boyer. Her 9th kill. 18-11 Chargers.
And that was just a great job by Illini West. You go out to Bryan, you get a quick right there in the middle for Boyer, and it is money.
Brinkley is watching from Keokuk. Thanks for joining us. Short serve. Blocked by Boyer, dug up by Maltby. And they're fighting over who's going to take the second ball. Privia sends it across. Bryan, she wants it back. Robinson, Josie Bryan, down the line and in. Josie Bryan gets her 12th kill. 19-11 Chargers. Hayden Hopper is watching. Jersey Brown is cheering for Illini West, and a service error by Robinson. Side out to the Blue Jays. 19-12. Cole Kirkham watching from Cedar Rapids. Guzman end to serve. She serves it up at short. Man, I don't know how that got across. Farrell to Bryan. Out of bounds, a hitting error, and it's 19-13. Guzman gets the point. It's her 7th. And off the arms of Farrell, an ace for J.C. Guzman. And if you remember back to set number 1, this is when they got back in and took the lead for the win. Guzman has served well for the Blue Jays. Bryan, Robinson. Bryan wants it back, and she hits it into the net. A little too fancy there. She tried to come right down to net to what some would call a 15, and it just wouldn't fall across the net. Guzman gets another point. She's up to 9.
A couple errors here for the Chargers, starting to tighten things up here a little bit, or the Blue Jays.
Farrell. Robinson. Bryan. Guzman there for the dig. Privia on the attack. Reed. Robinson. Outside Bryan again. Drives it down off the block and down. Josie Bryan gets a kill. Her 13th. And it's 20-15.
And it was all Reagan Reed in set number 2. Josie Bryant now coming alive here late in set number 3.
Aubrey Frazier is watching. Maya, Katie, and Callie are all watching. And Cole Kirkman says, well, you're going at it. My friend's cat is watching with me, too. Oh, here we go. It's 20-15. Chargers. Privia on the attack. Artman can't handle it. Privia is going to get the kill. That is 5 for Privia as side out. Much needed for the Blue Jays, and DeFreezer is back to serve. Artman a little trouble there. No, that was Robinson a little trouble. Carroll sends it across. Privia, DeFreezer, a quick. Ooh.
That's tough. That is tough.
They call a double hit on DeFreezer. Man, I don't know about that.
I haven't seen a lot of those here tonight, but that one comes at a real inopportune
time. You're
there
exactly
you go.
right. Shea Bell back in. Terry Brittany and Bridget from La Harpe. Robinson. Reed tips it over. Maltby, a good dig. It's going to be Privia. Blocked and dug by Maltby. Bell out to Privia again. She's going to push this one across. Boyer is there. Robinson out to Bryan. Off the block and down. Josie Bryan gets her 14th kill. 22-16 Chargers. Madeline Boyer serving it up again. Low, hard serve. Privia is there. Back set back to her. Off the block. Boyer slipped a little, couldn't get to it. Side out. Privia gets the kill. Privia took a little off that one, it looked like, John, and it worked out to her advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. Able to pick up the kill and a late side out here. A little bit of trouble there on the service receive, but Bryan's able to send it back through.
Clary on the attack. It's blocked up and down. Clary gets the kill. Michaela Clary, that's her first kill, and it's 23-18. Denise Trout says Denise and Elsie are watching. An overpass, dug up. It's going to come over again, and it's going to be tapped down by Reagan Reed. Holy smokes. That's the first one of those I've dropped tonight.
Yeah, that's a huge play by Reed. Pushes the Chargers within 2. A little bit of some passing mistakes there in the back row, but Reed's able to bail him out.
Josie Bryan back to serve. Her team needs 2 points. Maltby. Back set, Hoke now. That's Bell on the set. Now Bryan, quick to Reed. Blocked down by the Carson Artheloni, who we talked about. That's her 3rd block.
I think they called a net violation there.
Did they really?
They called something there. It's point Chargers. We're on match point, Dwayne.
I cannot believe they called that a match point. That means that's a kill for Reed. 13 for her. And the Chargers are going to the sectional final. Josie Bryan gets the last 2 service points, the last one being an ace. It's 25-18 the final. Man,
I feel like we finally stopped to take a breath, Dwayne. Man, that was intense.
If you would be so kind, John.
Yes, sir.
Zoom out. Go down and see if you can get Dakota Lafferty, the coach, or one of the players or somebody to come up and talk to us.
For sure.
I'll start talking here a little bit, and we'll take a break, and we'll be back with some final thoughts and hopefully a player or two. Thank you, guys. Tough match. Vanessa Sidwell, thanks for joining us. Chap, thanks for joining us. Nick, you were 100% right. I thought that was you down there, Ned. Ned is here. So we will be back on Wednesday night. It'll be Illini West and Pleasant Plains for the sectional championship here from Pleasant Plains High School on Wednesday night. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back here on TSSR Game Time Live.
When my parents told me they'd be using Adams Experts, I felt a bit replaced. I mean, they always called me to remove their viruses or get their printer connected to Wi-Fi. He even set up their new Roku.
How do I adopt a new son?
But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adams Experts. Repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home technology needs.
When I walk in and talk to my patients, I like my patients first and foremost to feel comfortable. I like to keep it real with them. I like them to know that I'm there to listen to them and to help them understand some of the processes that they may be going through. The most rewarding aspect that I feel with caring for patients is when those patients come back in and they tell me how much better they feel for something that I have helped them accomplish in their healthcare.
There's been a lot of rewarding parts working at McDonough District Hospital. I've had patients come to me that maybe have not had care in the community, care available. So with the addition of nurse practitioners lately, we've been able to add more care, and that's very rewarding to me. My hope is that when the patients leave at the end of an appointment, they leave and they definitely feel like they've been listened to, and they feel like their needs have been met, their cares have been met, and that they're going to get the proper treatment that they deserve from me as a provider.
When I walk in and talk to my patients, I like my patients first and foremost to feel comfortable. I like to keep it real with them. I like them to know that I'm there to listen to them and to help them understand some of the processes that they may be going through. The most rewarding aspect that I feel with caring for patients is when those patients come back in and they tell me how much better they feel for something that I have helped them accomplish in their healthcare.
When my parents told me they'd be using Adams Experts, I felt a bit replaced. I mean, they always called me to remove their viruses or get their printer connected to Wi-Fi. He even set up their new Roku.
How do I adopt a new son?
But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adams Experts. Repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home technology needs.
My experience with McDonough District Hospital was amazing. I have a lot of allergies, complicated by nasal problems. And the procedure I had is Vive Air. Dr. Sparks was incredible.
The Vive Air procedure is a radiofrequency ablation procedure. She no longer has to do any medications to breathe, so she gets much more restful night's sleep. And a short little office procedure, and have somebody that feels like it's totally changed their life means the world.
It's a permanent improvement on the quality of your life.
It was the community that really drew me back to Macomb. I'm from a small community, and I'm from a farm family, and ultimately I always wanted to practice in a place like that, and I felt that I had the ability to connect to people who with a similar background from me, and the fact that the staff members at the hospital and the support, all the support staff at the hospital was also focused with the goal of patient care. It felt like it just all came hammered at home for me.
And welcome back here to Pleasant Plains High School. Coach Lafferty has found her way. It's a long ways up here, isn't it?
It is. I hustled.
We gave you an extra 30 seconds.
Thank you.
Was that enough?
That.
Or
Yes,
did we
that
need
was
to give
good. That was
okay.
good, yeah.
I'll tell you what, everybody in our live chat was talking to the people had seen both these teams, and we could tell it was going to be a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
This was a fun match. I mean, it would have been more fun probably if you could do just 1 and 2, but
yeah.
You made it exciting nonetheless, right?
Yeah. Something I didn't realize till recently, actually my husband told me every win that we've had this year, with the exception of one against Orion, has been in 2. So that was something I kind of had in the back of my mind. I didn't mention to the girls, but if we lose the first setter, or even if we lose the second set, how are we going to perform in a 3-set match? Just because we haven't had that this year. We've played 3 sets, but not too many of them. So we do a ton of conditioning at the beginning of the year, and we lifted all summer, and you could see our middles out there huffing and puffing, going after approach after approach, transition approach, and I thought they did a great job at maintaining their composure.
Yeah, I thought your girls responded amazingly well in set 2 after really some untimely errors and some problems in set 1. You responded as good as you could have hoped for in set 2.
Yeah, maturity. You can tell, that we have some upperclassmen that have been in some pressure situations last season without having any seniors last year, that they were forced to mature quicker than probably other teams would have had to have their players develop, So this one right here, Madeline being a perfect example. I thought, we weren't in system tonight. I thought we were chasing them a lot. And the thing about volleyball is it takes 6. Josie Bryan, obviously our go-to power hitter, struggled tonight. And other people found a way to step up. And I'm not just talking offensively. Reagan and Madeline had a great night, but Abby White and Kaylin Farrell were so scrappy.
That pancake she saved in set 3,
yeah.
Abby was, literally her hand had to have gotten under the ball.
Yeah.
Just as it was hitting.
Textbook. Yeah, she, and Abby doesn't get a lot of praise for that. We have her on the outside because most of our balls that we set go to pins when we're out of system, and most players or other teams will hit to that location. So we've got to have a great ball control player. Abby, if you ask her, would much rather play back row. But she does a fantastic job at accepting her role and being really scrappy, and I love that about her.
Well, talking about the set 3 thing, did it concern you at all, knowing that, having been told that, considering looking at the scores that the Blue Jays had coming in? That semifinal, did you look at their semifinal score?
Yeah.
Pressure was not a problem for them apparently,
No.
And you guys responded well to a team who had been there. They had faced that,
yeah.
And you guys responded really well.
Yeah.
Did you have that in the back of your mind when that first set was over?
A little bit. I was more concerned with my seniors. My seniors are awesome leadership, unmatched leadership. And they struggled a little bit, whether it's communication because it's loud in here or Josie having a few errors. Allison did great, but they were just off a little bit. You can't play your best every night.
Right.
So that was my biggest concern is, can I get my seniors to trust each other to pull this team together? And they did. Josie stepped back and let other people step up tonight, and again, I think that's maturity. So she's a great leader, and I love that. I love that for her.
You mentioned not being in system in the first set.
Yeah.
I thought the first set that was really obvious.
Yeah.
Your passing improved a bunch, and this young lady that we're going to talk to in a minute was a big part of that.
Yes.
At her size, and I said before the match, she sets a little for you,
Yeah.
one rotation. She plays the back row. For her size, because we were talking about Artheloni, who is a very good middle as well on the other side,
She's
right?
big.
But she doesn't have the feet or the hands that Madeline has, and I think Madeline exploited that
Yeah.
in sets 2 and 3 with her defense in the back row and then placing some things at the front.
Yeah, Madeline for a big does things that other bigs don't do, and part of that's that growth that she had all in one summer. When she was in junior high, she wasn't as tall, so she was fantastic ball control player. She had pretty hands. She had a beautiful platform, and so then when that height came in, we actually had to work on the hitting, the offensive side of things. You watch Madeline play, and she is a very, very fundamental player. She really extends her platform out there, moves her feet to the ball. She reads the ball. One thing that she does a great job on that we don't really teach you, we just call it being an athlete, is if we see the offense is tipping a ball short, Madeline, as the blocker, will just throw that fist up and pop it up high for the dig so we can run, where that ball usually falls short and you're kind of running in and throwing that over the net. So, yeah, she does a lot of things for a big that you don't see from others, and it's really what separates her from everyone else.
Well, Coach, I know you got stuff to do down there.
Yeah.
You got to figure out bus times and all kinds of stuff for Wednesday now, right?
That's a good problem to have. I'm
good.
excited.
That's
yeah.
a good. How about your student section?
Oh, they're awesome.
Did the schools plan to black out and the white out together?
No.
No?
I was told Saturday from Corinne Robinson that the guys wanted white out, and I said, give the people what they want.
Wow.
Make it white out. I don't know what they were doing, but hey, that worked out.
I couldn't believe that one went with black and one went with white.
Yeah.
I mean, what was the odds of that if it wasn't planned?
Yeah, no, it wasn't planned. But they did a great job. We love them. Thanks for coming, guys. You got to come back again.
Yeah, they do. You have a great crowd everywhere you come. The kids come support you for sure.
Yep.
Coach, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We'll get
Thank you,
Madeline
sir.
on here for a second.
There you go.
Well, Madeline, I'll tell you what. I don't know. We talked about. And you probably heard us. We talked about Artheloni a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You're pretty tall,
Yeah,
but
I'm pretty tall.
You don't have a whole lot of middles even that are as tall as you.
Yeah.
She was pretty good middle, but it looked like you adjusted better than she did.
Yeah, I've worked hard on that actually. Since I grew up short, I've always had better ball control than most tall players do. So when I shot up, I just had ball control, and I'm really thankful that I had that.
I think that if we go back and look, I think I had you for 9 kills. We had Reagan for 13 kills out of the middle against a team like the Blue Jays with the middles they have, because they have pretty.
Yeah.
I think people would be surprised that the middles were that effective.
Yeah.
I felt like you and Reagan, though, in the first set maybe tried to pound it through the block. You guys started going around the block, and once you did that, they struggled.
Yeah, that's just part of the game. You have to find ways to go around the block because it's so big. The girls are so tall, it's hard to just pound one right through. So you really have to be smart to where you put the ball, and then you can pound it after that.
So talk about your rotation you do as a setter. Is that fun? Do you like that?
Yeah, I think it's pretty fun. At first it was a little confusing because there's 4 of us. And so when we were starting to work it out, everyone was a little confused. But it's actually fun because no one knows who's setting, so it's kind of a surprise.
Right. The first time I was at the Ladies Suns Classic this year, and I'm like, holy smokes, Boyer's setting a rotation. That's pretty impressive. But I was really impressed with your job in the back row tonight.
Yeah.
A lot of kids who are taller just want to destroy the ball. Looks like you really relish the job in the back row too.
Yeah.
Do you think that's an important part of your game?
Yeah, I think that's so important. Defense is so important. Getting the ball up, even if it's not a perfect back pass, getting the ball up is just as good as getting it passed perfectly.
Well, you guys were here to watch Pleasant Plains. They put down Macomb. You guys lost to Macomb earlier this year. So what did you see from Pleasant Plains that you guys will have to try to work against or work toward getting past on Wednesday?
They have a big block just like this team. They double block the middle. This team a single block the middle, so the middles are going to have to adjust a little bit more, but that just means that the 10-foot line will be open for tips, and so we don't necessarily have to pound it. We just have to put it in a specific spot. We'll have to get kills.
So when they double block, do you think they'll be able to block Josie as well? And really, Audra and Allison have done a good job for you guys on the right side, too, have come up with some key kills.
Yeah, they all get around the block, even if it's double blocking, and they're really good at that. I don't know how they get through such a big block, but I think they'll do good with that.
What was there something in the timeout between set 1 and set 2 that did somebody say something, or what was that spark that happened? Because you guys just looked different from the beginning of set 2 on.
I think that in the timeout we realized that we have to go, and we trained so much for this to just lose. And since we worked so hard for it in the timeout, we're all like, okay, let's go. We got this. We worked so hard for this, and I think that really helped us get that spark.
Well, I better let you get out of here so you can get dressed, and it's a long bus ride home. But you'll be ready for another long bus ride on Wednesday?
Yep.
Hey, BJ Stone made Josie wave at the camera before she got off, so make sure you wave at the camera too. Madeline, congratulations on a great win, and we'll see you on Wednesday night, okay?
Thank you.
So that was Madeline Boyer talking to us on the post-game show. And, yes, Abby was awesome tonight. Really, John, this whole team was phenomenal tonight, especially after set 2 or after set 1.
Yeah, and you mentioned that during some of the post-game interviews there. Set number 1, they came out, maybe looked a little flat, basically like a half step behind her, so wasn't quite able to get in system like they had throughout the season. Set number 2 comes around, man, they passed way better, serve receive looked twice as good, and then of course Reagan Reed played huge in the second set to give them a chance to take home a win in set number 3.
Yeah, and then Madeline Boyer stepped up in set 3 along with Reagan Reed, and then Josie Bryan came on again too, and it was just really, unfortunately for the Blue Jays, it was all downhill from there.
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
Really was. So we'll look at some stats real quick. These are unofficial, of course, but it's what I keep while we're doing the game. Chloe Maltby, the libero for PORTA, had 3 service points. Michaela Clary had 4 service points and 1 kill. Maltby had 1 ace also. Carly Hoke had 2 points. Both were aces. She had 9 kills. Carson Artheloni had 3 blocks, 4 kills. J.C. Previa had 6 service points and 6 kills to go with 2 blocks. Cassie Cox had 6 kills. 6 service points for Caitlin DeFreezer and 9 service points for J.Z. Guzman off the bench. We said after set 1, or at least I did, that Carly Hoke was as good of a ride as we've seen, and the Chargers really kind of took her out of the game in sets 2 and 3.
Yeah, didn't really say her name a whole lot there in sets 2 or 3. Same thing goes for Artheloni, too. I was kind of looking around. I didn't see her maybe playing as much there in the final sets. I could be mistaken. Again, it's kind of hard to watch the game through the lens of the camera, but I think maybe the Blue Jays made some adjustments there. And, again, I think Illini West just did a much better job serving, and they were really able to keep the Blue Jays out of system and really couldn't get anything set up for Hope there on the outside.
For Illini West, Kennedy Artman served 4 service points all in a row in set 3. It was Kaylee Farrell who got him going in set 2. She had 8 service points, including 2 aces. We'll talk about Reed, Boyer, and Bryan on our way back through. Audra Carroll had 2 kills. Allison Hunter had 2 kills. And now we'll go to the big 3 because they really were the big 3 tonight. Madeline Boyer had 3 service points, a block, and 9 kills unofficially. Josie Bryan had 10 service points, 3 aces included in that, a block, and 14 kills. And Reagan Reed, who only had 1 kill in the first set, mind you, ended up with 6 service points, only 1 of those in the first set. She had 1 block and 13 kills. So a 14, a 13, and a 9 in the kill department, and a 3-set match at high school is pretty darn good. And the Chargers live to fight another day. They'll be here Wednesday night against Pleasant Plains for the sectional championship and a chance to play in the super sectional, which then leads to states. We will be here Wednesday night. I believe it'll be John Burton and I, as both our team that would have been at Triope that we would have tried to cover is gone now. So we'll be back here for Illini West and Pleasant Plains. John, before we head out, any voice of wisdom?
I wouldn't call it wisdom, but, man, what a night of volleyball it's been here at Pleasant Plains. And, I mean, I can't wait to get back here on Wednesday. It should be an extremely fun sectional championship game here at Pleasant Plains.
And it's going to be packed on the other side of the gym.
Absolutely. I mean, it was filled up here tonight. I can't imagine what Wednesday is going to be like.
It's going to be great. So, for John Burton, I'm Dwayne Hulett. It's Illini West 22-25, 25-21, 25-18. Moving on to the sectional championship on Wednesday night here at Pleasant Plains. Thanks for watching. We will be back here. That's right, Chad Derry. Only one local left. It's Illini West, and we'll be covering them on Wednesday night right here at Pleasant Plains. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you Wednesday night.